Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com, and I want to talk about a few different board technologies and why different materials are used in each board and what you can expect as a rider. A lot of boards nowadays, almost, I would guarantee, pretty close to the 90% mark, are being manufactured like snowboards. What this is a standard nice wood core design inside, and the reason is that it's the best construction, easiest to manufacture, and different materials can make that happen. Now what you can see here in the Crazy Fly, why we have this one here, it shows you that core. Now if you see a board like this that's clear, this board is a complete glass board, and almost every board in the market, there's very few that use carbon, and I'm going to go over why there's different purposes for carbon. Most glass boards are perfect for the market. 80 to 90% of the customers would be happy on this board, ride really good, and not really push it beyond its limits, but will enjoy its ride for sure. Glass is the cheaper manufacturing process. Carbon is much more expensive. So what you see is the wood core inside. These cores are manufactured by a company that makes a wood core for snowboards, which are now being manufactured for kiteboards. They sand down to the thickness. The core is definitely stiff. If you get a hole in this type of board anymore, not a major problem. It's not going to soak up a ton of water. All you need to do is put a little glue on there, seal it back up, and get back on the water, or put a sticker over it if you're out there. So it's very simple, it's the best process, and it's definitely the core is good and stiff. Other boards that used to be manufactured were foam core boards. The mold that takes a foam core board, due to its shaping, is a lot more expensive and more difficult to make. So almost every board in the marketplace now is a wood core board. Wood core boards are definitely going to be in your top ranking and everything else. They're going to give you a lot more response and a lot more control of the flex. Now, if you see a board, here's a Nash board. A lot of the graphics, most of the graphics are all put on the inner side of the top layer or the bottom layer. If you see a Nash board or any other type of board like this that has some really neat graphics on there and everything else, these are glass boards. If there's any carbon inside of this thing, in most cases they want to show it. A little bit of carbon here and there can control the flex. So to cut the price, they'll put a small strips of carbon in here, something to kind of keep the torsional flex of the board, because they are getting thin nowadays. So a difference is here's one of the top ranked boards in the marketplace. Crazy Fly is manufactured out of carbon. Now a carbon board, you do not want them to be 100% carbon. Carbon, if it is 100% board, will ride like a rock. It'll be very stiff. The difference between glass and carbon, it's not the weight. It's a little bit, but not much. You don't look at it as weight. What it is feedback. Carbon gives you almost 100% of the feedback of the energy you put into it. So if you're going out there and you want to get aggressive, you want to do some hard carves and hard jumps and everything else, go for a carbon board. You will feel the difference. It is amazing the pop that you get back. Glass responds probably in the more the 70 to 80% of its energy built up. Carbon is right at the 100% mark, and you will notice the difference. Also, in a carbon board, why they're lighter is because you can manufacture them with one strip of carbon basically takes the place of 2 or 3 layers of glass. Each one of these boards has multiple layers in there or a very thick layer of glass. They usually go after multiple layers because it looks prettier, and the reason is the glue goes down in there deeper and keeps the air bubbles out. So you'll have multiple layers of setup in there, or you can also control the flex. For instance, in a Crazy Fly board, what you don't see internally on this board is a V layup at the tip. And what that does is it allows flex tip at each side. That's why these will be more expensive, and that's why you'll feel the response. These are hand laid up one-on-one. There's a lot of other boards out there that are like this that add in, but you will see the price goes up. The reason is carbon, the reason is hand layup, and hand built. They're not popped out of a consistent mold every single time. These are hand worked and laid up for perfection. So you'll get this controlled tip flex. So the difference in carbon is response. That is your main key. If you're ready to get a board and you're ready to stick with one, go with a carbon. You will replace it either by that same model, or you'll just keep that board for years to come. So keep an eye. Carbon is really nice. Glass works. I am not downgrading glass. That is a great price, gets the whole market and gets people into the sport. We sell a ton of them, and it's fantastic for, as I said, 80 to 90% of the people on the water. You won't know the difference until your riding aggressive builds up to feel the response of a carbon type board. But when you invest the money, you get it back. The other one is, here's a Cabrina Custom. A lot of people ask us about this board. These are great. They're built up, they're armor. If you want to armor very strong stout boards to beat up and pound on and stuff like that, this is a glass wood core ABS rail, which about every single board in the market is an ABS. That's basically saying it's a plastic rail. This takes dings. You can probably hit this with a hammer, cut it back out, get back on the water. You couldn't do that with a foam core board. You would bust it, it can soak up water, and it's very hard to repair. These to repair, it's pretty darn easy. It's very simple. Usually a CA glue, which is like a super glue. If it starts to pop up, stick it on there, you're ready to rock. The custom board is built with a lot of rocker to it. It's a lot of fun. This board will cut fast, turn fast, has a very wide stance to it, easy to land big tricks. If you want to get into it at a great price, you can't beat it. But when you, as an all-around type board for the average guy, this has got way too much rocker and way too much side cut. But as a second board or aggressive type board, hitting sliders and out there playing, you can't beat the custom board. It's a really nice makeup. So give us a call here at Kiteboarding.com. We want to sell you what you need, not what we have in stock. We will make sure to get you the correct board for your riding conditions, your location of riding. We have guys here that have ridden all over the world, as well as ridden every single kite. We ride every kite, we ride every board. We can give you the feedback, get you lined up to the right board that you need for your kiteboarding experience. I'm Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com, and we hope you have a great day.